Pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us today. Well, normally I say it's a bright and beautiful day. It's not exactly bright and beautiful, but it's indeed a beautiful day to be in the land of the living. I thank God for health and strength and life. I am in beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome each and every one of you for joining us from wherever you are joining us all over the world. I see we have a couple girls from Dominica in, and we have our facilitator today, Dr. Danielle Martin from Project CULTIVATE in the USA. So we would like to warmly welcome her. Yay! So
Yay,
shout out
welcome.
to Aralia, our intern who's been with us for a while, really backing us up, and our public relations and media director, Mr. Ricardo Mitchell. And we thank Marianne who joined us from South Africa a few moments ago. I see we have, oh, Savannah. Wow. Amazing. We haven't seen Savannah for a while, over a year, I think. Savannah, it's been a
Yes, it
while.
has
Thanks
been
for
about a
joining us.
year.
Yes, Savannah has been one of our girls from 2021. She's been with us 2022, 23, popping in and out, helping us with our admin and stuff behind the scenes. She's been studying in Canada. Are you still at home? Back
Yes, I'm
in
still in
Grenada?
Grenada. Yes, I'm back
Yeah,
for
she's come back to
vacation.
Grenada for a bit. Yes, it's lovely to see you, Savannah. Wow, today's going to be an amazing session. Oh my gosh. I see we have Dashelle from Grenada as well joining us. Um, let's see. Janae in Dominica, Jocelyn in Dominica as well. Lovely. It's going to be an amazing session. So we thank our sponsor. We have one sponsor on board at the moment, the Unit Trust Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. Without their support, the program would not be possible. And we'd also like to thank Bouncy Mania, who's been our partner and sponsor, basically with respect to the Bouncy Mania tickets that has been given out to the young ladies to have some fun. Guys, I must tell you, I went to Bouncy Mania last night. It was an amazing time jumping on those bouncy castles. I felt like a child again. It was a carefree session. I left my phone. Everything was just put aside. And, it was an adult session and we were all jumping and laughing. And it was much needed. Just put it that way. It was much needed. It's something we need to do a little more often. I wish I could probably do it at least once a week. And I think we have to kind of create those type of spaces, where it's not just like a one-off, like holiday time, but we create a space, where adults could feel free and enjoy and de-stress, healthy spaces, right? So keep that in mind, guys. We're gonna have to be working on that, right? My entrepreneurial mind starts working already, and I started thinking, what kind of business I can create, opportunities.
Indeed.
I think my daughter's always telling me about that, everything I want to create into a business. Right, Sapphire? Where's Sapphire? She was just in. I don't know what happened there. There she is. She's thinking, oh, mommy, everything is business. Your mind always just thinks about business. Right, Sapphire? You want to say hi, Sapphire?
Hi.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
Say
it.
something, huh?
Um, I don't know what to say.
Oh, big greetings from the beautiful UK.
It's not so beautiful right now, but
That's so beautiful. Okay, can imagine. The weather's changing in Pennsylvania as well. So it's changing all over. Yes, so this is my daughter Sophia, Danny. She's in the UK at the moment.
Yes, I've heard so much about you. It's nice to meet you and see you. Good things, good things. Your
That's
mother's very
Sophia.
proud of you.
Thanks for that, Danny. Um, I met Danny in St. Lucia in February when I went, and it was a real sisterhood. So yeah, thanks. Right, guys. So I think a couple of our girls went. Shanika went yesterday to the Bouncy Mania as well. Her mom said she had fun. It really was an amazing time. So it's something we need to create more of, for us to enjoy more downtime and de-stressing because life is becoming so stressful. And it's like I want to practice what I preach. I was just telling a friend yesterday and went with me. We always talk, and I'm telling my girls in the girls program, we need to, balance our life, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. And then I'm saying, I'm getting all caught up, and I'm not doing it. And I'm thinking, I have to practice, what I'm telling persons to do. So I'm trying to balance and, break up my life in a sense of there's work, yes, but you have to take that downtime to recharge, and to reflect and to, get going again. Yeah. So lovely. Yeah, we need that. Otherwise, we reach a stage where we can't really function and we're no good to ourselves or to anybody else around us. So we really need to be more conscious. And I think this program will really help me and others as well to really refocus, and try to get our priorities straight. Yeah. All right. So I don't want to hold up. We already started a few minutes late. Don't want to hold us up. So take it away, our session today. So, Dr. Danielle, you can tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what you're into. And this session today will be, go ahead.
Okay, so good morning. It's morning over there, right? Correct.
Yes.
You're the same time as me. Good morning to everybody. If you can, I would love to see all of your faces. If you can turn on your screen, I would love to see how beautiful you are with my own eyeballs.
Yes.
That would just be amazing. And as I'm looking at the screen, the first thing I notice, I'm like, honey, look at all of this beautiful melanin. I am here for it. I love it. So, a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Danielle Martin. Most people call me Dr. Danny. Feel free to do that. I am born and raised in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a small town just outside of about an hour or two away from Philadelphia. If you've ever heard of Philly, if you've ever heard of Baltimore, um, kind of in between. I am a teacher by trade. Started teaching first grade. Now I am a professor in the College of Education at Temple University, which is located in Philadelphia, North Philadelphia. So this is my beginning my 23rd year in education. Love young people, love to empower and inspire and teach. The way that I got here, yes, I met Miss Simone in St. Lucia while doing some service and some training with an organization called Project CULTIVATE, which I am the board president of. Project CULTIVATE is an organization that elevates and pours back into young ladies through education, economic development, and empowerment. And so the representative, the face of Project CULTIVATE, Dr. Robyn Joppy, she's been all over the world for sharing and spreading goodness, training and teaching young ladies through her business, International Shades of Beauty. So this is Project CULTIVATE is an extension of that. One of the things that we have done with Project CULTIVATE is something called Saddle Up Harrisburg, which is an equestrian camp to introduce young people to equestrian life. We just ran that this summer. We have talked to Ms. Simone about it. We have interest in St. Lucia around the particular camp. So really it's just exposure and awareness about said things. And that said thing just happens to be equestrian life. So I'm representing this organization this morning. I'm proud to represent Project CULTIVATE, and I'm excited to be here with you. So I asked you to turn your screens on because this is gonna be interactive, right? So when I do presentations, I don't just be talking to myself, y'all. Okay? You all are going to be interacting with me, whether it's through the chat. We might stop and have a conversation, but today we're going to address the power of your mindset. Okay? So, Miss Simone, when you tell me to go ahead, we're going to go ahead. Do I have the ability to share my screen?
Just doing that now, making you co-host. Yes, so go ahead.
Okay.
Excuse, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, before you begin, Dr. Daniel. Hi, guys. Ricardo Mitchell here. I am going to turn off my screen and leave the meeting. All right. One of the things that I've realized is that you guys have a lot more uh, rich dialogue, and people feel more comfortable speaking when they don't feel like, well, there's a man in the room. So I'm only going to be in the meeting because I'm recording the meeting. But you guys, I need you all to take in everything that Dr. Daniel is sharing with you. Right? Project Cultivate has been a huge supporter of the program, and they've always done us well. The ladies can testify that Dr. Robyn Joppy has been present, and if she is bringing her A team, then I guarantee you guys are in for a treat. Right? So enjoy, be safe, have a great one, and I guarantee you that if you take in this session with some honesty and you are vulnerable enough to share with her, she's going to be able to do amazing things with your time this morning. So, on behalf of the Sapphire Miriam Foundation, I wish you all a great day, safe weekend, and I will see you guys when we take up the episodes, the sessions monthly. So, Simone, Dr. Daniel, Aralia, Sapphire, what's up, cuz?
Thank you
Everybody,
for that. Thank you so
enjoy.
much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so
Thank
much for
you.
that.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Ricardo.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Well, that was awesome. Okay, so I just got a note in the chat. If you cannot share your screen because you won't be able to hear me, that's okay. I just want to be able to look at you and see you and tell you how beautiful you are. Once I begin to share my screen, I may not be able to see your interactions. I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you to interact in the chat, but I may not be able to see that. So, Ms. Simone, I'm going to ask if you can kind of
Yes.
monitor that for me. And you all, if
Yeah.
you all have questions at any time, please feel free to ask. This is very informal. So don't think
Yeah.
that you can't ask me any questions. I will ask you to share, but in the same token, I'm going to be sharing with you, right? So we're all family in here. So you don't have to feel like, I don't even know this lady. You don't have to feel like that. Feel comfortable to share what you would like to share as I am going to be sharing with you. So I'm going to share my screen.
I think the topic today is very important because it's about building resilience and overcoming obstacles through your mindset, building the right mindset. And what I've been telling the ladies, they're at a stage where they may think that life is so much, but I'm telling them it's not going to get any easier. They're the best stage of their life. And what we need to do is to build the resilience now, build the skills to be able to face the challenges that life, has in store for them. So it's very important that we have the right mindset to build that resilience and overcome the obstacles that we see in life to make life as fulfilling as possible.
I
So we
love that. I
welcome.
love that you say that. I really honestly, wholeheartedly love that you say that because mindset is everything. And
Yes.
as I was listening to the beginning song, um, the first thing I thought was, wow. The second thing I thought was, I don't know that I've ever experienced that type of song here in the United States, right? There is not something like that that would showcase the beauty of us, that would showcase our culture, and that would tell us to be proud of who we are. And so I really was just listening to the song like that's amazing. So I say that to say, young ladies, or however you identify, be proud of who you are and don't allow someone else to tell you something about yourself, if that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense right now, it's going to make sense when we have this conversation. The second song that was played, what was it, by Selena Gomez? Um, she says one of her lyrics in the song is "Who said that?" So one of the things I want you to think about as we're having this conversation is, who said that about you, but what do you say about yourself? And that plays into your mindset. What do you say and believe about yourself? So let's talk about the power of your mindset. And we're going to talk about how you can build a legacy of confidence and courage within yourself. And that will help spread to others, spread to each other in this group, spread to each other in your communities. And hopefully and prayerfully is something that will spread across the world. That's what we want. Before I jump into this, I told you a little bit about myself. I told you who I am professionally. Personally, I will tell you, and this is why this is exciting for me to do. Personally, I've had the same struggles that you have had growing up. I didn't always believe that I was an amazing person. Because mainly because that's not what I was always told, right? And that's why that lyric in that song, Who Said That, resonated with me, because who tells you something negative about yourself? You don't have to answer that out loud. You don't have to put that in the chat, but that's something that I want you to be thinking about. Who told you something negative about you? And we're going to look at how we can flip that around. And we're going to look at what we think and say and believe about ourselves. So, what is mindset? Mindset is the way that you think about yourself and the world around you. Your mindset will help shape what you believe and how you respond to different challenges. So, Miss Simone, you kind of related to, the young ladies going through some things, or we're just all going through some things, right? The world is stressful enough. Every day you encounter what we would call a problem, right? Is it a problem, or is it something that we can learn from? What is your mindset around that, right? What I will say to you is you have to kind of grow into this, right? This is something that even as a grown woman that I'm
Yes.
still working on. So I do want to say to you ladies, it's not something, excuse me, it's not something that you achieve overnight. It is a constant work in progress, especially when we live in a world who tells you all the not so good things about you and where you come from, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So, our mindset helps to shape what we believe about ourselves, our world, what we believe about what is possible, and how we can respond to different challenges. So, this is the first thing I want to get across to you. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you are enough? If you believe in yourself and you believe that you are enough, place a 1 in the chat. If this is something that you are still working on, place a 2 in the chat. So here's your instructions. If you believe in yourself and you know that you are enough, place a 1 in the chat. If you are still working on it, place a 2 in there. And remember, ladies, this is not, this is a judgment-free zone, because I will share with you, I've been a 2 and now I'm a 1. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I absolutely believe in myself, because if
Yeah.
I don't believe in myself, who will? Right? And so if anybody put a 2 in the chat, that's okay. But I need you to know that you are more than enough. I need you to believe in yourself and what you do and what you want to do, because we are operating in a space where everybody will try to tell you what you're not. So self-belief is so important with your mindset, because if you first don't believe it, why should anybody else? We have to continuously speak life into ourselves, and we speak life into our sisters. We speak life into our brothers. We have to believe in ourselves, even if no one else does. And you know what? Sometimes that no one else, sometimes those are people who are close to you, right? And that can be really hurtful. But there's this saying that my mom used to say, as I was coming up, and she still says, I can show you better than I can tell you, right? So you don't have to believe who I say I am, but I can show you better than I can tell you. And sometimes showing is believing. But this is the first thing that we need to work on. Do you believe in yourself, and do you believe that you are enough? You are more than enough. right? That aligns with confidence. Are you confident? But let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like, oh man, they don't like me? Have you ever gone to school? Have you ever gone somewhere and you're like, they don't like me. I know they don't like me. I can feel that they like me. They don't like me. I want to open up the floor and ask you, what did that feel like? What did you do when you felt like you were in a situation where you already made up in your mind that people didn't like you? What did you do? What was that like for you? Yep, come on in. Go
You
ahead.
were
I see.
saying, go ahead. Yeah.
When I felt like nobody liked me, I pulled to a corner by myself and I kept to myself.
You kept to yourself. And how long did you keep to yourself?
Well, until I wouldn't see those people again. Or if it
Wow.
was like school, I would try to understand why they don't like me. And
Mm,
I would, well, me, I like to be friends with everybody. So
mhm,
when I found out how they don't like me, I explain why I'm like that, and then they come to understand why I'm like that, and then they begin to like me.
mm. Okay. So how did you recover from that? Like, what did you do? Like, can you explain to what was the process you went through from thinking that somebody didn't like you to then becoming acquainted with them and then they liked you, right? Because that doesn't happen overnight. So like, how did you do that?
It's all in a talking process. When I talk to the person, most times it's when I go like to school or sometimes family meetups with my cousins and them. My cousins don't like to talk to me. So what I do is just try to keep with my cousins and try to understand why they don't like me. Because they talk about me behind my back. So I talk, I try to understand what they're talking about,
Mhm.
and then I try to fix what they don't like me for. And in school,
Mm.
with the people that don't like me, I just talk to them, try to have a conversation, and then they just forget that they don't like me, and they be like, "Why don't I like you?" And then they start to like me, and that's how it works.
You know what I love about what you said, though? I love that you said a piece about communication because sometimes we don't like ourselves or we don't like someone else or vice versa because a lack of understanding and communication helps us with that. So I love that you said that. Is it Aisha?
Hi, good
No,
morning.
it's
Hi.
Tarisai.
Oh,
No, yeah, that was Tarasai who just spoke.
yes,
Tarasai, and now
okay.
you have your hand up. Is it Aisha?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I know someone don't like me, all of the time it's in school, and I could tell you since primary school, I've like I don't know how to describe it, as in like it was kind of hard to make friends because I never really asked why. It's just that you just kind of get a vibe from persons. You try to speak with them, they kind of shun you out, they really listen to you. And especially in high school, there's persons that like they don't like me, and I yet to have any sort of communication with them. So what would be the reason that they don't like me?
Mm,
And from what like there was some rumors going around that person said that they didn't like me because I was quote unquote a teacher's pet, because I used to always answer questions and be the first to talk and lively helping the teacher with setting up and stuff. So
mm,
yes, when persons don't like me, I try to understand like why, what happened, or I mean, like what I could do to change it, what steps could I put into it to make them like see me in a different perspective than they just thinking of me from probably what someone told them, because they
Mm,
haven't actually had any type of like conversation with me to get to know me. Probably it's things they've seen online or persons from my past spoke to them. I don't know.
mhm,
But
mhm,
when I know persons don't like me, it's just that I just don't try to speak with them. But at the same time, I don't want to cross paths with them because I don't want to cause any like disruption and to say, oh, what you watching me for and all kind of craziness. If you understand what I mean?
mhm, mhm. Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So what I'm hearing in that too is that assumptions.
Yeah.
People make assumptions, they make up their own mind about you. They make up their own mind about you, right? But what is it having, and I saw one more hand. Um, before I get to, I think was it Brianna? Before I get to Brianna, I want to ask you all this question. I'll ask the question, I'll go to Brianna, and then we'll talk about it. Hearing about the assumptions and people have already made up their own mind about you, what's in your mind though? Like, does that like what is in your mind? How do you think about yourself?
Well, in classes, I've always been like, I always have the teacher on the holds. I would always like speak with them kind of like normally, kind of informally and stuff. So I think that yes, sometimes I could like be close with the teacher and answer a lot of questions, but I think that that's not the entire me. Like I'm so much outside of that classroom
Mhm.
that whatever they think of me, I'm not saying that some of it can't be true, but I know that they don't know the full me and they can't learn the same me from assumptions about different persons and stuff, so they wouldn't know the real.
Mm,
But yet it still kind of hurts when
mhm,
when you see like you just get random glances and you're just there, like you don't know why,
mhm,
but you just get random glances.
mm.
Yeah.
I love that. I love your transparency and your honesty about what you just said. But I think the most favorite thing of mine that you just said is that that's not the full me, right? That they don't even know me for real, right? Like that's what I'm hearing from you. I want to go to Brianna really quickly before I switch it up here. She had her hand up, so I don't want to miss her.
So sometimes I really try to understand why the person don't like me, but sometimes it's really be too time consuming to actually sit down and think, really, why this person don't like me? And then
Mhm,
sometimes it'll be well, like what the person think about me. Like it really be in a good way, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is people is assume they just make up things in their head about you, right? And they will actually start to believe it. So they do, it doesn't matter. If you prove yourself, you're trying to prove yourself to them and show that like that any person you are, they would still have that same mindset about you and continue to do what they want to do with it. So
mm. Okay.
sometimes it does be hurtful because you don't even know one like that to say, hey, she's this and I think that. No. So yeah.
And you know what? Thank you for that. I appreciate that comment. So I want to shift your mindset right now. And the first thing, if somebody, doesn't matter who it is, if somebody could look up the definition of confidence, look that up and put the definition in the chat for us. That's one thing. And simultaneously, Let's shift our mindset coming away from what other people think, and let's talk about what we think about ourselves. Tell me what you are most proud of in the chat. So there's two things that are going to go in the chat. The first thing that's going to go in is the definition of confidence. I need somebody to drop that in there. And then the other thing that's going to go in the chat is I need you to drop in, tell me some things you are most proud of about yourself. It can be one thing, it can be two things, it can be three things. I will share with you. I have a couple things that I'm proud of. The first thing I'm proud of is I'm now a author of a book, and I released the book back in December, and I am now teaching liberation through education. Because the one thing I know is that nobody can ever take your education away from you, right? And there's freedom in education. And so now I am teaching people how to liberate themselves through education. If you would have asked me years ago, did I think that I would have done something like that? The first thing that I probably would have told you was no, I don't think that I can do it. But mindset shift change, right? Because of my experiences, because who I surround myself with, other empowering women, other women that look like me, other men who are encouraging and inspiring, my mind began to shift. And I began to say, you know, we can do this. I'm very proud of that. So what are some things that you are proud of? It can be a couple things, it can be one thing. And Ms. Simone, if you won't mind, if you want, can you share with me some of what is popping up in the chat?
Right. So we have the feeling or belief that one can have faith in or rely on someone or something. That's Tarasai. Tarasai, you wanna unmute and tell us? I'm seeing that under Aisha as well. So whichever of you can unmute and tell us. What are you proud of about yourself? Go ahead, ladies.
And I will say, it might take you a couple minutes to think
Yeah,
about this, but that's also a mindset thing, right? Because we're being raised, we're coming up, we're living in a culture
yeah,
who may teach you not to be proud of yourself, may teach you from my experience in the United States, we're not taught to be proud of where we come from. And this is why. So here's how my mindset ties into what I do. Because we're not a culture or society that loves to teach about Black history, that loves to teach about freedom. That's what I do now because I want my people to understand where they come from. I want them to be proud of themselves. I want them to see the beauty within themselves, right? Because we come from a culture that doesn't celebrate that.
yes.
So, what are you proud of? Yes, Terasai.
Go ahead.
The feeling or belief that one can have faith in or rely on someone or something. The reason I put that is the definition of confidence.
Right.
Yes. The reason I'm proud of that is because I have people to be confident in.
Mm. So you have other people who are confident in you. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Yep,
Yes.
yep.
I have a
And you know
very
what?
good support system. Yes. My grandmother, my family, my parents.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that. For as many people, so going back to what you were saying about the assumptions and people didn't like you, somebody said they didn't like you because you were the teacher's pet, or, you know, just those things right there.
No matter
Because
was Alicia.
Okay,
Thanks,
so because you have a support system, right? There might be a few that don't like you, and that's okay. That's all right. I will tell you, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm all right with that. But because you have a support system, right? Your mother, your grandmother, or whoever those village members may be, they have confidence in you, which in turn makes you become confident, right? Anybody else want to share? That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, I would
One
like
thing
to
I'm
share. Go ahead.
one thing I'm proud of is not focusing on what other people say about me and focusing on my dreams.
Mm, I love that so much. I love
Yes.
that so much that you are not intaking the negative, but you're thinking about what you want to do and where you want to go and all the things that you dream of. That's so beautiful. Aisha?
Another definition of confidence that I saw was the telling of private matters or secrets with mutual trust.
Mm, hmm. Okay. Love that. Do you want to go deeper with that or
I think yes, that is what confidence is, because there are some stuff that you need to tell someone, and if you have that person and you know that okay, that as soon as you tell them, it's not like they would go on their phone and just blab it out to everyone,
mm-hmm,
and like
mm-hmm.
you know that they would keep your secret and they would always stay true to you and be a companion and be by your side, and that could help you, even probably when things go wrong, they would be the one to tell you and help you and stuff. So it's good to have someone that you could trust and you could raise suspicions and confidence, knowing that okay, that I have someone who will listen and they will give me their honest opinion about said issue.
Girl, I'm
Wow.
gonna get some snaps for that because I love that and I love that you found that definition because you know what? That's what we're doing in here.
Yeah.
We right now we are all confiding. That comes from that word confidence. We're confiding in each other. We're talking about our feelings. We're talking about, how some things made us feel. We're talking about our beliefs about ourselves. But each and every person in this room right now has confidence in another sister in here. And you remember that when you leave this space today. I got confidence in my sister that she's smart, she's educated, she's going to be able to do this, she's going to be able to accomplish her dreams. So you now can add us to your village, your support village, because we have confidence in you. I love that you brought that definition up. Two more hands before we move on. I saw Brianna and I saw someone else. Go for it.
So I have the definition of confidence as the feeling of belief or trust that a person or thing is reliable of. And I would say the two things that I'm proud of about myself is I'm able to finally comb my hair like cornrows and twist and stuff, and being able to be comfortable and alone by myself because it was a really hard thing for me to do. Like I don't like to be lonely or be by myself. So now I am comfortable being by myself, being by myself.
Thank you for that. I love that. I love the engagement and I love that you are actually thinking about this. And this is something, believe it or not, that you're going to think about and possibly wrestle with the rest of your life. Self-belief and the belief that you are enough. If you look at the bottom of the screen, it says confidence is not they will like me. Confidence is I'll be okay if they don't, right? You will be okay no matter what. And that's all you have to keep in your mind, in a part of your mind, because there's a whole bunch of compartments in your mind. But in a part of your mind, keep in mind that you have a whole village and a network of people that have confidence in you. So yes, you will be okay if the sprinkles of people don't like you. That's all right. We ain't gonna lose no sleep over that. So we're gonna go to the next. Okay, you might not be able to see all of that. I think some of my words are coming off the page here. This whole conversation we just had, if you have access to a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, this is what I want you to do. We just had this conversation, so this has kind of sparked your mind and has given you some ideas. I want you to rewrite the script. By rewriting the script, we are reshaping our mind. We're shifting our mindset. And so every time you have a negative thought, I want you to flip it into a positive statement. And an example of that is if you think that you're not good enough, or I'm not fast enough, I'm not smart enough. No, not true. How can we shift that into a positive statement? So the example here is I'm not good enough. The positive is I'm learning and growing every day, right? So every time you have a negative thought in your mind, I want you to write it down. And I want you to follow it with a positive statement. Does that make sense? And this is something that I want you to continue to do long after this workshop, long after, all of your sessions with Miss Simone, long after all the things. I want you to continue to do this. Every time you have a negative thought, write it down. Let's write it down. Let's get it out of our brain, but also let's flip it into a positive. So keep that in your mind. Okay. Here's the next thing I need you to know. You have a resilience in you that nobody else has. It's almost like a superpower. Resilience is your ability to be able to bounce back from something. If you think about some of the things that you've experienced, I'll say if you think about some of the things that our people have experienced, right? And I think I keep going back to the song in the very beginning. And in the song, one of the lyrics was, whether our people came here by exploring or they came here in chains. People that came here before you, our people were enslaved, right? But had the ability, the resilience to rise despite the challenge, right? So resilience is like your bounce back power, right? You might have a challenge, but the way that you respond to the challenge and how you come back, that's the power in that. Challenges are going to build who you are. Okay. Yes, you're going to have trials, you're going to have challenges. There's going to be really seasons in your life that are just so hard and you don't know how you're going to get through. Well, the first way you're going to get through is we talked about that support system and that village that has confidence in you, right? Those are people that you can go to help you get through your challenge. I'll share with you right now, I am in a very challenging season in my life right now. And there are a lot of unknowns for me. I shared with you before that I'm a professor at a university. And with the way that things are happening in our country, in our leadership, that is trying to change the way that we teach. Specifically, trying to change the way that we teach people who look like me and you. Specifically, erasing our history. Specifically, if I go into my classroom and say some things that I would normally say, or even try to teach some of this, what I'm teaching you today, self-belief, resilience, be proud of where you come from, know who you are. In some spaces, if I stepped into a classroom and said some of those things, I could get in trouble and lose my job. Just because of the way our country is being led right now. But I'm resilient and you can't keep me down, right? I know that, and I have a support system. So I just told you that I'm an author and I wrote a book, and now I teach liberation through education through my book. Oh, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to give my people what they need. May look a little different. I may be uncomfortable in doing so. I may face some challenges, but my resilience, I will rise and so will my people. And so at the bottom of the screen, you see a quote here. And it says, "A queen doesn't quit. She adjusts her crown and keep going." That's what I'm doing. So know that when you face challenges, because you will, if you have not already, sometimes the challenges can seem like they're just going to just keep coming. My God, you make it over one hill and good Lord, you got another hill to keep going over. Oh my goodness. You might have to stop and cry. You might have to stop and journal. You might have to stop and call one of those friends, your confidant, right? Somebody from that village. But guess what? You will rise again. You keep going. And the queen doesn't quit. We're not quitting out here, queens. We're just going to adjust our crown, dry our tears, and keep it moving. Okay.
Wow.
So I need you
Yeah.
to think about that too. You will rise again. You won't always be in the valley. Right? One of
Dr.
the
Danielle,
things
talking my language.
one
Talking
of the
my language.
things we say here is weeping may endure for a night, but it's joy that comes in the morning. So you are not going to be at that bottom stage or the bottom of the pit or just the bottom of whatever it is. You're not going to be in that challenge all of the time. But how do you respond to the challenge that you're facing? So back to those people that don't like you. That's okay. How do I respond to that? Do I combat that with being nasty just like them? Am I rude just like them? No, no. I'm going to kill them with kindness. How do I respond to that challenge? Some of that confidence that my support village is giving to me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and speak life to the people who say they don't like me. I'm going to go and speak life to them because you know what? I want them to succeed too. How are you responding to your challenges? Okay. If you got a pen and paper, write that quote down. If you got a phone near you, take a screenshot of that quote. A queen doesn't quit. She adjusts her crown and she keeps going. I want you to keep going.
That's my philosophy, you know. Quitting or failure is not an option. It's
It's
not an
not an
option.
option.
No, it's not an option for me. I have to keep going at all costs. So I adjust my crown. I, adjust how I'm doing things. As you said, you pivoted, through your book. Find another way to get things done, but you have to get it done and you just keep going. And once you know in your mind and your heart that, failure or quitting is not an option, it's like you just find a way to do it and you keep going. And I've built so much resilience, and it's like you have to, you don't have a choice, right? You just have to find a way to do it and keep going. And this is what I think is most important for me with these young ladies now, to get the point across that life isn't going to be getting any easier. You have to find a way to be able to, get going, keep going, find the solutions to the issues, challenges, problems, whatever you want to call them. And, there are a lot of opportunities in these so-called problems. You find, what's this opportunity for me? What's the opportunity that I'm facing right now? And not a problem I'm facing, but an opportunity to be able to impact the lives of others, an opportunity to be able to, impact yourself, to benefit yourself, and just keep going. Most important.
You're absolutely right. And here's one thing that I'm going to say about failure. A lot of times people think failure is like the worst thing. Sometimes people think failure is the end of the world. Oh no, I failed a test. I failed at this project, or I'm failing to meet the mark. There's a lesson in failure, right? I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that failure is part of your success.
Yes.
You are going to experience failure in whatever that may look like. I'm not the end all be all, so I don't know what it's going to look like for you, but you are going to experience failure in something that you are doing. And what I want to say to you is that it's okay. Charasai, you got a question for us, or you want to say something?
Now I have a question. I failed at a test recently from last term, but every time I look or I turn, somebody's reminding me of that failure or showing me the low grade that I got on that test, and that just makes me feel crumpled up, like if I want to just shrivel up and die on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Mm-hmm.
about that?
So I love your question, and I love your raw honesty behind that. There are people who will remind you. It's almost like that's their thing in life, to constantly remind you of what you failed at, and we're human. We have feelings, right? And it does make us feel some type of way, and it does make us feel like shunning and closing up and never trying a certain situation again. But understand that that's not what you're called to do, right? I will tell you that yes, failure is upsetting. Yes, it's even more hurtful when people remind you of it, because it's like, oh man, I was over that. Now I got to revisit and I rethink. That's mindset too, right? That's a mindset that you need to shift. Okay, I failed a test, but within myself, I've already dealt with that. I've already dealt with it. I've recognized it, right? Remember, going back to the resilience I just talked about, you will rise again. You will pass a test after the one you failed. That's okay. It's all in how you respond to it, because you're always going to hear noise out here. There are going to be those people. Remember, she tried to do this, girl, epic failure. There are going to be people who are always talking in your ear and try to remind you of when you failed, how you may have handled it, if you had a bad experience. And guess what? That's okay. But your job is not to stay there. After you've already dealt with the failure, you don't need to go back. Does that make sense? You don't need to go backwards because it's something that they want to talk about, right? Let them. There's a book here in the United States of an author called Mel Robbins, and the title of it is Let Them. So let them talk, right? Let them. You've already worked through that. You already studying for the next test so you can pass. You've already dealt with what it looks like to change some things to be successful later. And that's why I'm saying don't be afraid of failure. Again, we live in a world that gives you pressure more than it gives you support.
Yes.
Don't let anybody allow you to make you feel bad about something that happened that didn't go the way you wanted it to go the first place. That's okay. So to your question, here's the challenge for you. This is called the fear flip challenge. Whatever the fear is, write it down. Right? So again, I'm bringing you back to writing. You know why I'm bringing you back to writing? Because when we write things down, we tend to work on them more. If we don't write them down, or sometimes if your parents say, oh, can you remind me to go to get some milk at the grocery store? Right? I'm asking you to remind me because I'm going to forget. So if we don't write things down, we tend to forget them and we never go back to address them. So whatever it is that you're fearful of, even if it's failure, write it down and think about what's the lesson or the power in it. So again, this is how we're shifting our mindset. We're coming away from what society is telling us. We're coming away from what all the negative Nancys are telling us. So here's your example at the bottom. I'm scared to fail. That's the thing that you're writing down. But what's the power in that? Let's reshape the narrative. And here's us reshaping the narrative. Even if I fail, I'll grow stronger. And that's why I said failure is a part of your success. It's a part of the journey. Does it hurt? Yes. Will it come with tears? Yes. Does it feel like sometimes you got to start all over again? Yes. And that's okay. Because even if you fail, you'll grow stronger. Even if you fail, you get another chance. There's always a blessing in the lesson. What did you learn in that failure? So we're talking about a failed test. What did we learn in that? Maybe it's that we got to study harder. I don't know. But also, what do we learn about the people that we have to deal with? Yes, ma'am. Aisha.
I saw this TikTok where it said you can cut down a plant because it was drooping, but the plant would grow even healthier and better than it was before.
Girl, this will get the snaps. Yes, I love that. Can you put that in the chat? Because I want to remember that. See, write that down for me because I want to remember that. That is beautiful. Yes, that's it right there. I couldn't have said it any more beautifully than that. You cut down the plant, it's going to grow back taller, stronger, all the things. Yeah. So your setback is only making way for your comeback. It's
Yes.
okay. It's all right.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when people are doing this to you, it's like they have their issues and they're bringing it onto you. So you don't take on their issues. You work through the problem, as you said, Dr. Danny, and you leave that as it is. Don't keep carrying that baggage and carrying that problem. Yes, what is the lesson I've learned? I need to study differently. I need to study harder. I need to put in more hours, whatever. And this is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. And you leave that alone. So when they come to remind you, it's not about you. This is about them dealing with something that they're trying to bring onto you, right? And to keep you in a
Yes.
certain mindset and a position that they are in because they can't move past certain things. Maybe they have jealousy issues and all of that. So they're trying to, bring that onto you. So that's why it's so important that your support system is about positive people. So those type of people, you realize who they are and you treat them accordingly. So you eliminate them from your life because they have nothing positive to bring. So why are you having them around? Right? So this is where we start to learn how to manage our relationships and the people around us. And ladies, let me tell you something. That's the key to life. Get that down pack
Yep.
early o'clock. Early o'clock. Managing the people around you, the relationships that you keep and those you get rid of. Because I'm telling you, you need to make decisions very fast when it comes to those things. Keep the wrong people around and it
Yep.
starts to infest your mindset and the way you think about yourself. And then that affects your performance as to what you believe that you can do or you can't do. So get that down pack early, the way that you manage your relationships, who you allow into your space, who you cut off very early o'clock. I'm telling you, because it does impact yourself, right? The way that you
Ooh,
start to think
child,
about
that's now look, that's another workshop right there. And
it.
ain't
It
that
is,
the
it
truth?
is.
That is
Yeah,
y'all, I'm telling you, even at
yeah,
this big old age of I'll tell y'all I'm 46.
yes.
And to what Miss Simone just said, I have categories of people in my life, honey. Okay. The first thing I have is boundaries, right?
Yeah.
There are the people who are close to me, my village. There are people that I know as acquaintances, okay? And then there are just the people. The people.
Yeah.
So the people, the naysayers, the negative, they're in the people group. But even if I find out that you're somebody who's close to me, who is speaking negatively of me, who might be a little jealous of my success, and now then I gotta push you out. I gotta push you out to the people. Cause
Yes.
no. So, ooh, Miss Simone, that's a whole nother workshop, y'all. She needs to have
Yeah.
that workshop right now
No,
because that is so
we're going
true, y'all.
we're going to have that workshop. I'm so glad you said that. So Aralia, put that on the agenda. We're going to have, because I'm telling you, the earlier you learn to manage your relationships, your boundaries, who's there for you, who you realize is not, and section that off, the faster you grow. Because you keep these people around, they suck your energy. I mean, come on. It really, I'm telling you. And you know, as big women, we still learning this, huh? Dr. Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's what I'm saying. So to you all young ladies, it does not stop here. You don't just figure
yeah,
it out. You might learn some things about it, but what I'm telling you is
yeah,
that as grown women, we are still dealing with those type of people.
yes,
There's always going to be somebody who got something to say. And like I told you, let them. Let them.
yes,
And what I choose to do, and this is just me, I literally kill them with kindness because sometimes, back to Miss Simone's point, sometimes those people are missing something, right? And it may come across as jealousy, it may come across as being a mean girl, but really it's that it's an insecurity. They're insecure
yes,
about something, and there is something in me that they see that they admire, but
yes,
they don't know how to speak that. So the way that it comes across is very negative, very mean girlish. And you know what? I'm kind to them and I will speak life into them and I will keep it moving.
yeah.
That's
Keep
it.
it moving.
That's what I choose to do. Remember I said the queen doesn't quit. We just adjust our crown and keep
Yeah.
it moving. So I will keep it moving. But my tight knit people, my
Mm-hmm.
village, are the people who are going to help me adjust my crown rather than talking about
Yes.
me. They're gonna pull me to the side and help me straighten up my crown, and then they're gonna send me on my way and cheer for me
And keep going,
and keep going.
and
So a big part of your mindset is your vision. There was somebody in here who said she thinks about her dreams. I need you to dream big. I need you to think big. Your future, all the things that you're dreaming about, starts with your vision, which starts with your mindset, right? So back to the self-belief. If you're talking to yourself all crazy, or if you're saying, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that," then guess what? You won't. But if you're saying to yourself, "You know what? I'm gonna give this a try. Yeah, I think I can do this. You know what? I'm gonna step out on faith. You know what? With my crew behind me, there's nothing I can't do." With God, all things are possible, right? Your vision helps with your mindset. Your positive self-talk helps with your mindset. So your future, it all starts with your mindset. If you can see it, you can definitely step into it. Here's your definition of vision. So vision involves you setting goals, picturing a future that excites and motivates you, right? What are you passionate about? And how can you set the goals to get there? Who can help you get there? There's some people on this call that will help you get there, right? If you can see it, you can step into it, but you have to believe that you can step into it. Here's one thing I want you to do. You can do it later. I'm looking at our time and I don't want to take up all of our time, but take a screenshot of this or try to save it in some way. This is recorded, I think, so you'll have it. But I want you to write a letter to yourself, your future self. I want you to write what dreams do you want to achieve? And I want you to write down what reminders of confidence and courage that you will send. I will tell you this. I did this before, and it was through email. And at the time of my life when I was doing this, it was again one of the hardest times of my life. I will share with you, I was in school to get my doctorate. I was in an unhealthy and toxic relationship. I was trying to raise my girls. I was working full time. So, honey, you want to talk about challenges? I mean, it was a challenge everywhere I turned around. And I saw this like thing on, I don't remember if I saw it on Facebook or something, that it was a little service that you could sign up for to write your future self emails. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. Tried it, wrote myself about 3 letters, and scheduled it to drop and forgot all about it until I got the letters. And when I tell you, I read those letters and I was in tears. And it was very moving, and but also amazing to see where I was when I wrote those letters and where I was when I received it. And so when I received the letters, I was coming up on graduation, and the letter from me, even in that time of my hurt and pain and challenge, I wrote to myself with such love and care and encouragement that I was in tears reading these letters. And it felt so good to get a letter. So this is something that I want to encourage you to do. Even if you are 18 now, think about, the future. Just write a letter to yourself. And I want you to speak kindly to yourself. I want you to speak in love to yourself. And I want you to encourage yourself. And so there's at the bottom, there's just a starter for you. Dear future me, I want you to remember that what? I want you to remember that you're kind. I want you to remember that your heart is beautiful. I want you to know that you're special. So I want you to try that. Somebody had a hand up, and I'm sorry. I was just a talking. I think it was Miss Aisha.
You might say I've been speaking a lot. I'm
No,
sorry.
I love it. Thank you for it.
Um, I was just sitting here and I was thinking about where you were speaking about what persons think about you, what persons say, and how you might think of someone that even though they hurt you, you still kind of feel mad at them because you think that they've done you wrong.
Mhm.
But shows, and personally I've seen it, like I've told my mom, we were watching I think it was a superhero movie, and I told her, I was like, villains aren't villains. Villains, like, things happen to normal people and they turn into villains, if you understand what
Mhm.
I mean. Because like, a lot of people, when something happens to them, they want vengeance, and like that
Yep.
vengeance takes over their mind and it turns them
Mhm.
into a different person. But that's not really who they are. They're just trying to right something from their past.
Mhm.
In your eyes, you don't see it that way. You're seeing it as someone who just wants to do wrong, who wants to cause chaos, but you don't know that at the back of their mind they're thinking of someone, something, an incident in which occurred. So it's like, you don't, yes, there are some people that just has a negative mind towards you, but there
Mhm.
are also others that think that, as you said, they might have seen something in you and they liked it, but they kind of feel ashamed that they don't have that, so they would hate on you for having it.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
but on the other hand, you just have to give people a chance. That's what
Mhm.
I always tell myself, that you can see someone, like, I can stand here and you can stand there and we can watch each other. Well, we don't know
Mhm.
what we've been through. Everyone has their own story.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but you wouldn't know someone's story, and people wouldn't just come out and tell you their story,
Yeah.
because everyone has been through their share of trials and tribulations. And I guess I wanted to say that you just have to give people a chance. You just have to, they probably won't tell you the entire story, but
Mm-hmm.
from the confidence, the definition that someone you could trust. So they could probably gain trust in you, and you would probably learn that, oh, that's not the same person. Like you could
Mm-hmm.
watch them, or when you actually know them, it's someone completely different. But
Yep.
you understand more about what they've been through, or the persons around them that probably made their mind into what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's not the person's fault. Sometimes the people around them that took in what the persons thought about them and didn't think about themselves, but just others. And
Beautifully, beautifully stated. Beautifully stated. We have to give people the chance, right? We call that grace, right?
Yeah.
Give people grace. And I think that's part of what is missing in our
Yes.
communities, in our world right now is grace and empathy. You don't know what that person is dealing with. And yes, while they're channeling all that anger or ill feeling towards you, it's for a reason. And so that's why I say to you, I'm not the end all be all, but what I choose to do is I choose to still be kind because kindness is free, right? And at the same time, I'm modeling that for them of how, you treat people how you want to be treated, right? Like that's the golden rule. But I'm also giving them that grace and that chance to do that, even if it's not with me, because I was kind to you, because I gave you a chance, because I gave you grace, prayerfully and hopefully you'll do that to another person.
Mm.
And it's usually those same people that are a little bit ugly to you that will come back to you years later and say, you know what? I was unkind to you because of this, and I'm sorry. Or I want to thank you for still being nice to me, even though I was ugly to you. That meant so much. I was having a bad day, or I don't know what that looks like. Like, you know what I mean? So that was beautifully stated. Grace. We have to
Yes.
give ourselves grace and we have to give others grace, even when we don't receive it from them. And again, that's okay. That's okay.
Beautifully said. That was really deep. That's deep, you know. No, serious. And I'm really proud to see that young ladies are thinking so deep at this age, and that they're
Yes.
evaluating life. I'm telling you guys, because you really have to go deep and giving that grace. And last week we did empathy, being in other person's shoes, thinking maybe what they're going through, and treating persons right. We talk about positive and healthy relationships with your peers. So it falls really, in line, as you mentioned, Dr. Danny,
Mhm.
about empathy, it aligns with what we did last week. So thinking about, what other persons are going through and being able to relate to them and foster a healthy relationship, as you said, being kind, to them, because they may just need that, in their life at that point in time.
Mhm.
So it
Mhm.
really aligns, yeah.
That's
Right.
beautiful. And it's crazy to think this because we may be people who have experienced kindness and grace and empathy all of our lives. We may be those people who experience that every day, but imagine somebody who does not. Somebody who does not know love in that way, somebody who does not know kindness, who does not know grace, who doesn't even know what empathy is. So they're operating from a space of deficit. They've never had that experience, right? So choose to show them otherwise. Choose to show them otherwise. And you'll be glad that you did because that's you making a difference. That's you breaking the cycle. That's you being a change maker. And so I want you to think about this. How does mindset create a legacy of confidence and courage? Your mindset is the foundation of your legacy. Everything that you set out to do. it all goes back to your mindset, what you believe in yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you handle yourself. Are you kind to yourself? You know, we talk about self-care. Do take a minute to just recharge. Like right now, y'all, I'm fasting from social media and news because it's too noisy. It's too noisy, it's distraction, it's disheartening. You know, every time I turn on the news, I'm like, good God, who got shot? Or what is going on? Or somebody not being kind to somebody, right? Again, that's too much for me right now. So I step away from it. That's self-care. Because if I don't take care of myself and have my bucket poured into, I couldn't have came on here today to pour into you. This is part legacy work for me to be here in front of you, sharing my legacy with you. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Confidence and courage create a ripple that inspires others. The confidence you have, the bravery you have, the ability for you to be able to speak with authority, but kindness and empathy, that's going to change other people, right? What you have, the spark that you have, the light that you carry, when you share that with other people, that makes other people change because of the experience and the encounter that they had with you. So that's why I say for me, I operate in kindness. Now it ain't always easy, and that's a whole nother workshop too. But I operate in that spirit, right? Because I want change. So I am the change that I want to see. And I watch that ripple as other people encounter me. They have an experience with me. And because of said experience, they take that with them and they share it with somebody else. So it's like a ripple effect. If you can envision in your mind when you throw a rock into water and watch it skip and see the water rippling, that's a ripple effect. Okay. You are not just building your life, you are shaping the world around you. I'm shaping the world by coming on here talking to you all. You all are miles away from me in a whole nother country, other countries. There's several countries represented here. I'm not just building for me, I'm building to help create a better place for you. And because you're having this experience, you don't want to do the same for somebody else. That's legacy. You're building a legacy. So, yes, ma'am, Terasai, come on, tell us all about it. I see you.
Alright, how you said you was building a place for me, right? So when you come to Trinidad, I will have a place for you to stay.
Oh,
I'm going to
Look
real
at that.
estate in
Oh,
Trinidad. So I'm gonna build a place for you to stay when they come.
that's so sweet.
can I tell you how full my heart is and I have tears in
Oh,
my eyes right now? That is so sweet. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That just felt like a giant hug. Like no lie.
yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, thank you.
Oh.
Here's what I want to leave you with. And if you've ever heard anything called affirmations, positive affirmations, I love those. Every time I end a workshop, I like to end with those, with something that you are saying, something that you are speaking into yourself and speaking into your sister or brother. So if we were in person, I would have everybody in a circle, locked arm in arm, and we would say this together. And then we would break off into partners and we would say it to each other. And so if you can come off of mute and say this, I want everybody to say this with me. What you'll be saying is up on the screen. It says that I am unstoppable, I am enough, and I am Sapphire strong. And so if we could come off at the count of three, I would love for everybody to say this with each other. Can we do that? What you think?
Yes. Love
Ready?
it.
And
Yes.
so 1, 2, and then we're gonna say it loud and proud, okay? We just got to say
Yes.
it like we mean it, because we mean it, and we're talking to ourselves. So we mean this. 1, 2, 3.
Three.
I am
I am
unstoppable.
unstoppable.
I'm
I am enough.
Enough.
unstoppable.
I am Sapphire
I'm
Fire strong.
strong. I'm
I am
enough. I am
sapphire strong.
sapphire strong.
I think we should
Yes,
try it
yes,
again. Let's try it again.
yes. Try it again.
Yes.
I am unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
I
I
am
am
enough.
I
I
am
am
enough.
Sapphire
I
strong.
am Sapphire
Sapphire strong.
Yes. So take a screenshot of this. This is something that I want you to keep, and I want
Alright,
you to say this to yourself every day. Speak life into yourself every day. You are unstoppable. You are enough. No matter what anybody else says, no matter what the world tries to tell you, you are sapphire strong. Okay? So, Miss Simone, I will turn it back over to you. I don't know if we have questions.
Dr. Danny, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. It's been a wonderful session. You know, each week, this program just keeps getting better and better and better. It's been amazing today. You know, the interaction, I think this is the most interaction we've gotten from the girls.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
for the whole year.
Oh,
They really opened up. Yeah. They're starting to open up, and today they've opened up a lot, and I'm really proud of the ladies for opening up and sharing, because I know it takes a lot, because you're amongst persons who, you haven't really seen in person, and that word confidence, and that
yeah.
confident, and you really displayed that, having that confidence in this circle, and us being your confidant, that you could trust us to, to carry with you the burdens of your journey, and to help you to be able to navigate this journey by building resilience. Yeah. So I'm really proud of
I
you, young
want
lady.
to all you young ladies, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you. Please know that you are beautiful, you are strong, and you are brilliant. You can do all the things that you want to do. And most importantly, know that you have a village and a community of people who are right behind you, cheering you along, who will wipe your tears if they fall and will help you straighten your crown so you can keep going. So I love you dearly. I hope that I get to just see you and hug you when I come in December. That would be my greatest joy. But I really appreciate your transparency and your honesty and sharing today. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I want to call Sapphire on the spot. Sapphire, I think Sapphire's displayed so much resilience. I think she can give us a little idea as to how she's displayed that resilience. Sophia has moved to a different country. She's had to get adjusted to a different culture. She's moved from being homeschooled, being, not, having that interaction, to being physically schooled, having to interact with persons her age. She's recently moved schools, so she's had to adjust that, to that as well. So I think she's, the epitome of resilience as a young person, and Sophia, you want to, give your peers some indication as to how you've navigated, these challenges? Give them some inspiration, because you've really inspired me, I can tell you, because I was nowhere near this resilient at your age and as clued up. And she's able to navigate relationships, keep her space and her boundaries, clear so that she can keep focused. Man, I can tell you she's doing a fantastic job. I was nowhere near that. I'm still, trying to navigate that at this age, So come on, Sophia, give us a clue. How has it been?
Can you hear me properly?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I moved to the UK 3 years ago, and it was about 6 months until I actually properly joined secondary school. I started in year 8, which is, to be honest, I don't know what it's called in Trinidad, but I was 13. So um it was it was difficult definitely at first. I have never been to actual like proper school. So when I came, that was my first time actually being in a school environment, interacting with people and stuff. And I did it better than I expected, but you know, like how we were talking about earlier, but with people not liking you, there were definitely people who did not like me. And I realized now it wasn't for any particular reason. It was just how I was. And they just saw me and they decided that they didn't want to like me. There's something that people talk about here, like when someone newly comes to the country, they call them a freshie. So I was a freshie. Um, and they didn't like me because of that. So the way I dealt with that was I gave them no reason, no valid reason to to not like me. They couldn't, I'm fine with them not liking me, but as long as I can show to the people who either don't have an opinion about me or they do like me that I am a likable person and I am someone to be respected, then those people that don't like me, I want them to be looked at like, why? She's so nice. Like, I want them to be questioned if they say that they don't like me. So I made myself that type of person. I just developed myself in that way. And it's just a lot of liking myself. It's self-love and respecting myself. Because if I love myself, then other people can love me. And if I respect myself, then other people can truly respect me. So as I develop that over time, then people start you it shows on you. Like the way you walk, the way you talk, people start to realize that and they start to be like, okay, well, if she respects herself, then who am I to come? Who am I? Like, I don't even know her. So people start to treat you a bit better. And um, it's just the way you go about life and stuff. But it's not easy, but the answer is simple.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Sapphire. Well, I have a question for you. How long does it take for you to stop being a freshie?
Um, I That's a good question, you know. Me personally, I still consider myself a freshie, but I don't know. I think I don't want to stop being a freshie because I think that means I've started to lose myself and joined into like what these people like that's their culture and I respect it, but I don't want to lose myself into that. So personally, I still consider myself a freshie, but I have lost a bit of myself and it's sad because I thought I needed to change myself. I didn't click and start liking myself straight away. I tried to mimic their accent. I tried to like some of the words that they were saying, I don't say those words like that. And then if I said because I remember I used to say trash instead of rubbish or garbage instead of rubbish or something. And then they looked at me weird and you're like, no, don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. And I was just like, okay. It's like a lot of culture shock and a lot of aggression and stuff. And now I'm starting to gain back what I gave up because I shouldn't have to give it up for anybody because that's who I am. And I know they're not giving up their culture, so why should I?
Yeah, there's a lot of culture shock, and I'm telling you, you're navigating it really well. It really is a lot of culture shock. The words, the language. We think it's English, but I'm telling you, they use different words. It's a different, believe me, I was landed in that position as an adult, and I would have said that I would have lost a bit of myself too. You have to fit in to an extent, but yet I always kept, this is who I am. I'm Trinidadian, I'm Trinbagonian, I'm from the Caribbean, and this is who I am, take it or leave it. But you always try to see how you can blend in, obviously, because you're in a different culture. And being a freshie, well, I didn't know it was called that, but I was a freshie there when I came there in 2000, yeah, and two. And I had to fit into the world of work and to school as well. Did my university degrees there, etc. And you always want to fit in because you don't want to be standing out and to be looked as the weird one. But you would always find that there are circumstances where you'd always be looked upon as weird. People would not like you. I had the same thing in university. Some people didn't like me because, you're good at your work and maybe the teachers like you and that kind of stuff. So it's always about navigating. And it's interesting. As an adult, you have to navigate these challenges. And also as a child, you still have to navigate these challenges. So I must say, you're doing an exceptionally great job. and, finding back yourself within this now, realizing that, you don't really have to give up yourself and your culture for somebody else, because as you said, they're not giving up their culture. They're British. They know who they are. They talk a particular way. They behave a particular way. And they're not going to say, well, okay, let me start acting Trinbagonian, or let me start acting like, the Caribbean people do, or let me start talking or having the same values and principles. They're not going to say that, but they want to rob you of your principles, of your values, of the way that you speak and what you believe in and that kind of stuff. So you really have to hold on to know who you are first, and to hold on, to who you are and what you believe in. Yeah. Thanks for that, Sophia. Thanks for sharing. Dr. Danny, what are your thoughts? I see you just sending out hearts.
Man, I love everything she just said. And I was, as she was speaking, I was thinking about my country, where I'm from, and how, they're just whitewashing history, so that you all, as your age or coming up behind you, have no clue of where they come from and who they are, so that they'll assimilate into what they want them to be and what kind of culture. I was thinking about that as you were talking, and we all have gifts to bring to the table, to share with the world. And can't nobody tell me about my gifts, because they're not the person who gave it to me, right? And so I'm going to continue to share. I'm going to continue to teach. I'm going to continue to be proud of who I am, even if it's that I speak this way. What I will do is I will teach you some of my culture, and you can in turn teach me about yours. But I don't want to be made, to be so I'm glad that you said, I love when you said, I lost a part of myself, but I didn't lose myself completely, because I am who I am, right? Like, I love when you said that. That's, yeah. I'm just taking it all in, Miss Simone. That's all.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this.
It's been amazing, and yeah, I'm really glad that we get down into the heart of the girls, and they're able to express themselves. And the environment that you're in, to get the most out of it, even as Ricardo was saying, you have to open up. So the girls who would have opened up, who would have spoken, and they're the ones who will be able to get the most out of this. For the girls who haven't spoken up, I would always encourage you to speak up. Um, Closed mouths don't get fed. And that was something that Sharon Page had said. She's one of our partners in the US. She's been coming on for the past, since 2021, each year. She was originally the Steve Harvey Foundation executive director, and she's championing her own NGO now, right? But closed mouths don't get fed, and she's encouraging us to open up, speak up, and those who spoke up at the point in time, they got a reward, for speaking up. And I would like to encourage you young ladies to speak up. I mean, we haven't heard anything from Jocelyn, from Faith, Janae. I'm surprised that we haven't heard anything from Janae today. Janae is from Dominica. She's one of our young entrepreneurs. But I want you all to encourage you all to be present. When you hear, be present, speak up, share, talk, ask questions, because then you get the best out of the situation. You never know what's ahead for you, when you speak up, and what opportunities that you can get. Dashelle, nothing from Dashelle today. Ayana, you guys have been so quiet, right? I want to give you all the
And maybe
opportunity.
maybe it's that,
Hmm.
because sometimes we just take it in.
Yeah,
Maybe it's that you're taking it in and you're letting it marinate, and you're taking notes, mental note, writing it down, and thinking about how you can apply all of the things that we've
yes,
talked about today. Think about how you can apply that in life later, or just in your daily walk. Like, yeah, somebody
yeah.
just, yeah, she's soaking it in.
Right, so Aurelia is soaking it in,
It's a
yes.
lot. We talked about a lot today. And
Yes,
at some times we got a little deep. And if you're taking it
yes,
all in, and if you're thinking about it, like, that's okay too.
yes. Yeah, I just want to give them an opportunity to just, comment or ask a question or, anybody
Mhm.
who hasn't said anything today, this is your chance, before we close off. Any questions, any comments? Shanae says, she's here paying attention and trying to finish up a bucket hat order. All right, yes, our young entrepreneur. She has a bucket hat order. She does
I
crocheting.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And I love your name. I have a cousin named Janae.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's in Dominica. So we have some Dominica here from Dasha. Do you want to bring greetings from Grenada? Savannah had to leave, but Savannah is our volunteer in Grenada.
Okay, we got
Dasha's,
Grenada, we have Dominica,
yeah.
and where's Dominica located?
Just north of Trinidad. It's Grenada. It's near to Grenada as well. So we're the southernmost, close to Venezuela, and just above us we have Barbados, Grenada, and
Okay.
Dominica. They're just like, yeah,
Okay.
we're about just over half an hour flight. Not far. They're all just right there within less than an hour
Okay. Okay.
flying
So we
distance.
got
Yeah,
Grenada, Dominica.
yeah.
Who else we have
And
here? We got the
we
UK,
normally, yes, yeah, we normally have
I'm
St.
from St.
Lucia.
Lucia.
St.
Oh,
Lucia.
Cassandra, you're in. Yay. Thank you for joining us, Cassandra. I was wondering. Normally we have Yvette. I'm not sure how Yvette managed to miss this session today, but Yvette is in her early 30s. She's been very interactive and contributing to the session, and she's been learning. She's part of the Super Foundation. Oh, remember Yvette when we went down to Super Foundation with the girls? She's
Yeah.
been joining on Dr. Danny. Yeah, she's one of the ladies
Oh,
from the Super
nice.
Foundation. Yes, I kept in touch with her.
That's
There were two of
wonderful.
them. Yeah, so she's been joining in.
Okay.
And we did the activity in Super.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
beautiful. That's beautiful. I can't
yeah.
wait to see more of the islands.
Oh, yeah. We have to do a whole Caribbean. I think you have to just save up, and just tour the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think Guadeloupe is in the north of Dominica. Right. So we're looking to wrap up. Anything else, Dr. Danny?
No, thank
No?
you.
Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. I have to tell Dr. Robyn, this session has been amazing, amazing, amazing.
Thank you
Um,
very much. My
yeah,
pleasure.
yeah. Okay, so girls, what about your mental health check-in on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the highest. How do you feel right now? Maybe as opposed to when you came in, you probably weren't feeling so, excited or so, 100 as we say it. So let's see some numbers in the chat. How are we feeling right now? Ooh, 10. Janine, come on, guys. Are you feeling an 8, a 9, a 10? You still need some work doing? Ooh, Thomas, I'm feeling 20. My goodness. Well, we're doing our job. Yay. Come on, ladies. Drop some stuff in the chat. Yeah. I think Tarasa is probably the most excited for December to come, for graduation and to meet
Oh
you guys.
yeah. I'm
Right?
gonna drop my I'll
Mhm.
drop my email and
Mhm.
my Instagram. Now, remember I told you I'm taking a little mental health break from social media right now, but I'm usually on there. So I'm dropping my email and my Instagram handle if you all want to keep in touch.
Oh, that's
I
amazing, Dr. Danny. Thanks.
will drop this in here for you. And you
Thank
Ladies, you
you,
have
can,
a wonderful
Doctor.
opportunity. Yes. To keep in touch with Dr. Danny. Info is in the chat. So I see Aisha is a 10, Faith is a 9, Dashel is a 10. I'm so glad that Dashel from Grenada could benefit from this program. Ayana is a 10, Cassandra is a 10, well, Teresa is a 20, so
all right.
Shanice is a 10. Come on, ladies, anybody else? Drop your comment in the chat. Jocelyn, how are things at your end? Jocelyn's been quiet. Brianna, how are you feeling? Yeah, Dashel says she loved this class very much.
I
Right,
feel
guys.
great.
Go ahead. Feel great?
So I would say that
Feeling great. Nice. Wonderful people, yeah. Tarasa is excited to see
Okay, she
everybody.
said so if I'm gonna peek on Instagram. If you're on there, I'll peek on so I can follow you back.
Nice. Wow. So, Aurelia can get ready to play our closing song. Right, guys. So I just want to thank everyone for coming. Thanks to our partners who have partnered with us. We want to say thanks to Bouncy Mania for their contribution of their tickets. Man, it was a wonderful experience, and I'm looking forward to December. So let's get ready for when they come in December again. Okay. Thanks to Unit Trust Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago for their sponsorship, and we're looking forward to other sponsors coming on board very shortly. We've had some delays, with change in administration over the past few months, but things are getting settled. So thank you, young ladies, for contributing, for sharing. Thanks to Ricardo for his support, and we wish you all a wonderful rest of your Saturday and a wonderful weekend. We have a long weekend in Trinidad and Tobago as we celebrate Independence Day tomorrow, being independent since 1962 from the British, where we became our own, government, our own ruling nation. Yeah.
Wonderful. Happy Independence Day. That's a beautiful
Thank
thing.
you. It
Happy
is, yeah.
Independence, everyone. It's a
Yes,
shame
happy
that
independence, everyone.
we cannot see a parade this year, but I hope I
Great,
can see you
yeah.
on the avenue for Pan.
You going on
I'm
the
gonna
avenue for
be on the
pan?
avenue for Pan. I'm gonna
Oh
see
my
ya.
gosh, there's pan on the avenue. What time is
Yes,
that?
Sunday night. I
Sunday
think
night?
it's
The clock.
yeah.
Check your clock on the dot.
Really?
Y'all
I think
y'all
I
have
might be on the
fun.
avenue for pan. I think I might be on
Y'all
the avenue for pan. That sounds like a fantastic idea.
y'all have fun and be safe and take some pictures,
Yes.
and maybe Miss Simone can send us some pictures here. Me and Dr.
Yes.
Robyn. Send us some
Yes. So
pictures.
ladies, yeah, ladies, send me a picture so we can send it on, right? To Dr. Danny so she can enjoy our independence celebration with pan on national instrument. Oh, I always love to hear pan. It's just so soothing. So Dr. Danny, we'll do that. We'll do some pan, when you guys come down, we'll do like a pan yard experience and that kind of stuff. We'll find something, right?
Okay.
So you can soak
Cool.
that in, right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So thank you for everyone coming on board, and we'll be playing our closing song.